Okay, in 3, 2, 1.
And the bang, I can know all freedom lovers. We greet you. In today's proceedings, Mazen Namdekano continues to defend himself against the charges brought by the federal government of Nigeria bordering on terrorism and membership of IPOB. Today is unique because today he interrogated the court and the prosecution and charged them to prove to him or to show him what law he is alleged to have contravened. You know, this is Nigeria. We practice what we call written laws. If the laws are not made or written by the National Assembly, then they are not in existence. And if the laws have been repealed, of course, repealing means cancel. If a law is repealed, it means that law is no longer existing. Now, if a law has been repealed, according to Mazen Namdekano, he cannot be asked to stand trial on those laws. And he has asked them to show him the law under which he is tried. And it is for the court and the prosecution to say, you are tried under section so and so of this law. And if you do that, you now check whether those laws are still existent in Nigeria. If they are not existent in Nigeria, then it means the young man may actually be correct to say that there is no charge against him. Of course, knowing that there is no law existing such as the ones we are furnished with. Part of the challenge we have in this court is that the Supreme Court had also ruled that there is nothing like Chapter 45 of Criminal Code. There is nothing like Chapter 45 of governing on Criminal Code. And Mazen Namdekano is being tried under that Chapter 45 that the Supreme Court has said does not exist. So, which law, which defense do you want him to put in a case where there is no written law? I, for one, I don't know how to even defend or interpret such if the law is not existing. The best thing is to strike out the charge and let the young man go home. And that is why he told them, how can you detain me for over 3-4 years when the law is not existing? When the law has been repealed, when the law has been cancelled? How can you detain me for 3-4 years when there is no law like Chapter 45 of the Criminal Code? So, he is challenging the judiciary, he is challenging the Nigerian authorities, he is challenging all well-meaning and all well-thinking Nigerians to find out, to ask, to raise the issue and find out whether in this country the laws have changed to such that you cannot try people when there is no law in place. Can you try people when there is no written law? If you ask me to enter a defense, is it not for me to defend a written law that I may have breached? If you say I breached Section 2 million and there is nothing like Section 2 million anywhere in this world, for goodness sake, are you not jeopardizing my right to fair hearing when you ask me to defend myself against Section 2 million when Section 2 million does not exist? That is a simple question Mazen Namdekano posed today. And unfortunately, or incidentally, the court ruled that it will not answer that question now. They will answer it at the end of trial. And Mazen Namdekano is saying, how can you try me when there is no law? You must first of all cross the hurdle by bringing up the law that I breached. Then you cannot try me under those laws. If you cannot try me, if you want to try me under a law that does not exist, then it is a breach of my fundamental human rights. So that is as simple as Mazen Namdekano put it today in black and white. And he relies heavily on Section 36, subsection 12 of our Constitution. Thank you.
Right. Well, anyway, I'll just say a few words. There is this saying amongst lawyers generally that a goat was running, and when the dog saw the dog also started running. Well, the fowl observed what was going on and asked the dog, "Why are you running? It is the goat that they are chasing." The dog said to the fowl, "In this country, Nigeria, if they are chasing a goat and you are a dog, you don't run, if they catch you as a dog, before you prove that you are not a goat, you take 10 years to 20 years. This appears to be what is happening to our brother Mazen Namdekano. I don't speak as of counsel, I speak as of his brother, as a fellow Igbo man and as a Nigerian, to strongly condemn what is going on. This has been going on since October 2015. We had a man on trial since October 2015. That's over 10 years ago. And out of these 10 years, we detained him for almost 6 years. And you still have him on trial. What does that tell you? It tells you the story of the dog and the goat. It's taking him 10 years to prove what, or to disprove what, or 10 years for the judiciary of Nigeria to find him guilty of what? Guilty of self-determination, guilty of making a broadcast from Kenya or from UK. What are we here for? What are we talking about? Why are we defeating ourselves? Why are Igbos keeping silent? I'm calling on Igbo leaders to speak up. What are you afraid of? Second term or what? Go to President Tinubu and tell him, Mr. President, what you are doing to our brother is wrong. Stop it. You have stopped it in other instances, in other cases. You stopped the prosecution of Iwoho. You stopped the prosecution of Showore. You stopped the prosecution of the secretary or chairman of Mietiala. Why are you pushing ahead with the prosecution of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? Simply because he's Igbo? Why are you doing that? You should stop it. You have the power. The blame, you can lay some blame on the judiciary, but in this very case, the buck stops at the president's table. The blame must be laid where it should be laid. The court cannot activate any trial without prosecution. This prosecution has hit a gridlock. We should stop. And if they have issues with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they should call him to the table and settle those issues. And the issues are clear anyway. He said determination, that is all. Every other thing that is coming under that is trumped up, just to make it look like a case that is fit to be settled by the Nigerian judiciary. I'm here to tell you that it is not possible. It is not possible. It has become very, very clear. If anybody keeps insisting, the courts must settle it. Think of the person that stole your election, and the moment you open your mouth, he says, go to court. Why are we insisting on the courts settling this matter? Is somebody contriving something in the courts? The politicians can settle it as well. Political leaders can settle this. And the number one that should settle this is Tinubu. He should not inherit Buhari's hatred of the Igbo. He shouldn't do it. He should abhor it and make his new friends or make his own enemies. But by all means, he should not inherit an enmity brought by Buhari in 2015 against the Igbo, of which Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is the poster boy. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Max.
So taking it on from there, you see, the war is on Nigeria based on the American President Trump's threats. And if you watch in the court today, we have about 2 or 3 foreigners covering this event. I want to plead with Mr. President, please. This particular trial is embarrassing Nigeria the more. It's embarrassing Nigeria the more. Because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the court, as witness today, asked this question 4 good times. Tell me the law upon which you are trying me. Tell me the law upon which I violated. Now, he has filed a motion. And to clear this particular doubt, Nnamdi Kanu is not running away from defense. Remember that he has already filed his witnesses, about how many of them? 23 of them, to tell you that he was ready to enter into defense. But in law, if you see something that you're supposed to raise and you do not raise it, it may be seen as you waving it. And based on that, thank God that, of course, people know that he's intelligent. People know that he's a good researcher. So, based on the advice by his consultants, both foreign and local, and his own research, he discovered that there was not even law, just like my colleague. So he said, what am I entering into defense for? So that gave rise to the motion he filed. And in that motion, he raised a lot of issues. Now, my Lord said, please, you people talk about extraordinary rendition. And I want somebody to come and testify and need evidence towards that. And Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said, no, you cannot need any other evidence. Where the court, where the law has mandated you to take judicial notice of every law, every judgment, every document in the court file. In that judgment in the court file, there is Court of Appeal judgment there. There is a Supreme Court judgment there. Right. There is a Federal High Court judgment there. Okay. There is Kenya Court judgment there. All these United Nations, all these judgments are in that court file. And the court is expected to take judicial notice of all those issues. And the Master can also file notice of preliminary objection. In that notice of preliminary objection, you also raise all these issues. And that was why Master Kanu said, my lord, during your no case submission, really on no case submission, you failed to take judicial notice of all these issues. So I believe that without going into what is pending in court, I believe that my lord will reconsider this particular motion, because my lord said that I have seen the motion. When the prosecution said that the one he has was not stamped, my lord said no, the one in the court was filed, was signed, and the court belief cannot serve you on stamp and on signed document. I don't know where they got that from. The court has confirmed that it's in the court file. I believe that my lord would have. Nobody is above mistake, of course. In fact, court is not a court of know-it-all. Court is expected to raise issues where you are confused or something that you need to clarification. You ask, please, can you address me on this issue? I expected my lord to say, this thing this guy is raising, can you people address me on it? Let us pass the hurdle. You can make your judgment in one way or the other. We are doing in one way or the other. I don't say so. Master said, I cannot. The Lord did not say I should enter defense. The Lord said that you should do this. So that is where we are, and I believe that just like Special Counsel said, the Igbos, Nigerians of good conscience, you people should rise. Like when the issue of June 12 came up, all of us in this country stood against it and we work against Abacha. Without minding that Abiola is involved, Abiola is not involved. We collectively fought against that. Why should that of Nnamdi everybody is running away? Probably because of one or two contracts we are getting, because of one to the president called the protest. The president is just like Buhari today. Buhari died in this country, and everybody was jubilating, including people of Daura. They were jubilating that Buhari died because of the bad legacy he left for himself and for his children. Mr. President, you are a Democrat, you fight for this democracy. Please, you know that Nnamdi never committed anything. They arrested him so as to stop him from agitating. Please, release him and allow him to continue with his agitation and dialogue.
Igbo Union, sir. No. It's okay. Igbo Union. No, I said something.